The LegalMatch came into my practice at just the right time. They sought me out, I think, because they found my website and were impressed by it. In fact, they used much of the content from it to help develop my profile on their platform. I've joked that I was once taught not to give out your credit card number unless you place the call, but that's exactly what I did in this instance. What convinced me was LegalMatch's willingness to refund my money if I wasn't able to at least earn it back through leads. I think at that time I was realizing that as more time passed since the purchase of my law practice, I wasn't seeing as many matters just fall into my lap that were associated with my predecessor. Furthermore, I found that I was commuting a long distance to share office space with other attorneys for mentorship and possible referrals. After starting a family, though, I began to question whether the commute was worth it. As I found I could depend on the referral volume through LegalMatch, though, I gained the confidence to close my office and work from home. Well, this also ties into how LegalMatch has helped me during the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, I had a flourishing local counsel practice where I would drive to courthouses all over the region on behalf of out-of-town law firms. Once the pandemic began, though, a lot of the courthouses became closed for in-person appearances, and that source of business vanished. So while I could previously justify driving to an office in Albany because I was often near there anyway for court appearances, I found myself commuting just to sit in an office alone. LegalMatch allowed me to replace that lost business and to do so without driving anywhere. The pandemic has also made it easier to market to out-of-town clients with whom I cannot easily meet with because many people would rather not meet in person and understand that even local attorneys may not want to meet with them in person to conduct business that can be done remotely. The LegalMatch has also allowed me to expand my practice area from just my region to most of New York State. I get a kick out of working with clients in courts in so many places, some of which I've never been to. LegalMatch has done a terrific job of making itself easy to find for people who want to find a lawyer. It seems like more and more clients prefer to look for an attorney from the comfort of their home computer rather than to schedule an appointment at a law firm in a traditional office. I receive leads on a daily basis and am alerted to them with an email. I can easily view them from a cell phone application and respond so that they hear from me right away, even if I'm not able to call them at that moment. Once I'm able to call them on the phone, the rest is just like any other client relationship. I haven't worked out the numbers, but certainly enough to keep me busy. I'm getting new cases on at least a weekly basis, if not more frequently. The LegalMatch is a marketing firm and not a law firm, so I keep all the legal fees I generate. Some of my other leads come from law firms that may not charge for access to leads, but they want to keep a significant portion of the legal fees generated. Receiving leads from law firms is often critical earlier in your career when you're more in need of professional support and don't want to pay out of pocket for leads. Once you're confident in your ability to handle cases on your own, though, it's often more profitable to pay for the leads and keep all of the legal fees generated from them. Also, the quality of leads is high because I think most clients see LegalMatch as the for-profit service that it is and are prepared to pay for legal services when they post their case. I've received leads through nonprofit organizations as well, and as a result, I think more of those clients are not as prepared to pay for legal services. I recommend making marketing calls a priority. It's easy to think that leads can wait, but oftentimes if you let them wait, a client has already hired somebody else or is comparing you to somebody else. If you can call a client almost as soon as they posted their case, you know they're likely to be available and that they'll be focused on their case. They'll also be very impressed by your responsiveness, and the perspective you provide on their case is likely to become the baseline rather than just one of multiple perspectives that they may have heard. In short, your chances of being hired on your terms is highest immediately after a case is posted. You have to be willing to put the effort into contacting the leads generated by your LegalMatch account. If you don't, you won't get what you paid for with your membership. If you're new to the practice of law, make sure you have a stable of more experienced attorneys to help you with any matters that may be more complex than you can handle, even if that means sending them some of the leads you paid for as an incentive. I have a little bit more to add about making the most of your LegalMatch account. Once a client has hired you, do the work necessary to put their case in motion as early in the engagement as possible. Oftentimes, a client will have waited more time than is advisable before hiring an attorney, or may have even neglected by a previous attorney. By prioritizing the first steps of a new client's case, you can get off on a great footing with the client and minimize any potential damage that further delays might pose to their case. Once you do that, there's often a lull in the case that can allow you to go back to other matters that you may have had to place on hold while attending to the new client's matter.